And now it's time for your Daily Disney Podcast with your host, Joseph Ballesteros.
What is going on, Magic Cheers? Welcome to another Daily Disney. Thank you so much for deciding to join me today. If it's your first time here, we do a podcast show Monday through Friday, and then we do a interview show on Sunday where I bring on a guest. We talk about what they're doing, pursuing their goals and passions, all, pushing inspiration for you who are listening. So if it's your first time here, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I wanted to talk about Living with the Land. That's right. So Living with the Land is one of those rides that I think if you're not paying attention, you can miss it, and it's a pretty fun experience. It's a neat experience to have. There's only so many rides that you could ride at Epcot, right? There's Test Track. I always say Fast Track. It's Test Track, Mission Space. What's the other one? All the other ones. You know what I'm talking about. All the rides that are there. And but when you go to when you think about Epcot, obviously you think about food and stuff like that too, because that's kind of what they're known for, the culture. That's my favorite thing about Epcot. And Soarin', I forgot. Yeah, there we go. But I think Living with the Land is one of those rides that kind of gets overlooked a lot of times. And it's one of my favorite rides because of how much information is given. Like, you are truly given behind the scenes access like I think no other park does. I mean, when you think about behind the scenes, you think, oh, I want to see how machines work. That's kind of, technically, I guess, yeah, that'd kind of be like behind the scenes and stuff like that. But this is so cool because you're getting the idea of what Disney is about, which is, creating their own food. They're creating the plants that they do. They have the fish farms there. They're showing you all of these things that they're actually doing. And what's really cool is if of course, it costs an extra fee, but you can actually get a tour there. And it's really cool because when you're on the ride, we have seen people being like not in the boat. They're like literally outside the boat, walking the garden, with the cast member who's explaining even more detail about them. But Living with the Land is something I really enjoy because it kind of shows a little bit, I think, of what Walt had in mind when we talk about Epcot. It was our experimental prototype city of tomorrow. And we get a little bit of glimpse of that because we're seeing that Disney is kind of sustaining itself. It is kind of, keeping itself to not afloat, but keeping itself, in a way that it's not dependent. There you go. On other outside kind of sources because they're doing it themselves, whether it's they're growing their own, vegetation and fish, to serve in the parks. And I think it's one of those things that you can be on the ride and you can really appreciate how much work and how much, care that was put into the parks. And so it makes it, to me, it's one of those rides that it's just a fantastic experience. And it's a really great behind the scenes look and showing what Disney has done and what they are doing to continue to make their park, the way it is. So that is one of my favorite rides. I want to know, do you like Living with the Land? Have you ever gotten on Living with the Land? Or are you more like, that ain't my ride? That's just not for me. So let me know. I do want to give some shout outs. We had a show yesterday, which was your favorite Disney love story, and we had some comments. So thank you guys so much for commenting. Whenever you comment, of course, you do get a chance to get a shout out. And that's what this is. So over on YouTube, we got Evan Boucher. I think I said that right. I said the character development and dynamic in Tomorrowland between George Clooney's character Frank Walker and the little girl Athena is truly beautiful and severely underrated. It's one of my favorite love stories and Disney movies. Now, I really enjoyed this comment because this is why I always want to get the opinion from you guys, because there's different angles that I've never thought about, and this is so true. This entire kind of relationship of appreciation for one another and the love story that's there in Tomorrowland. Like, I would have never kind of thought of it that way. So thank you so much, Evan, for reaching out and commenting there. Over on Twitter, we got our good friend at Jetter_cheese, who says he thinks the Princess and the Frog because it's the best morale. And we have Adrienne from at AdriWDW Bound, who was on the show. So thank you for commenting. She said Robin and Marion regarding for Robin Hood. Over on Instagram, we got Wall a Sweetie, which is WALASWEETIE, who says, agree with you about Robin Hood, but I also love the story between Aurora and Prince Philip. A couple caught between their duty and their heart's desire. I also adore 101 Dalmatians, a sweet love between Roger and Anita, Pongo and oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. Perdita, you know what I'm saying. I don't know why I cannot talk right now. And parents and their pups. This is literally like the 5th show I've done because I just keep messing up on words. But thank you guys so much for commenting. It means so much to me. So be sure to comment, like I said, guys, for your chance to get a shout out. If you want to support the show, head over to talkaboutthemagic.com/Amazon Magic. That is my Amazon affiliate link. No extra cost to you. Just helps with the show so much. Or you can head over to talkaboutthemagic.com/shop, and that is going to be actually a little mini store there that has a bunch of Disney apparel, Disney purses, watches, glasses, sunglasses, not like literal glasses, and stuff for your pets. Just all in all, awesome stuff when it comes to Disney. So be sure to check that out. But thank you guys so much for listening. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Have a great night, day, weekend, whenever you listen to this. And as always, stay magical.